Hello, welcome to Train Sim World 6. As you can see, I'm currently loading up. This is actually a timetable service. Bernina Line, which I did last Wednesday. Different direction. I'm going to start at Ospizio Bernina, going down to Tirano. Should take about an hour and a half, but I will be stopping to take screenshots while I'm doing it. Doors should be open. Let's just look behind and see. Yes, the doors are open. I'm setting this up. I've got this on Midsummer's Day, so 21st of June. What I'm trying to do is make sure I've got the... Where is it? I know it's one of these. There it is. Vigilance system and safety system. Don't need those. Put that in forward. Headlights to dimmed. Mirrors out. And that's everything set up. So, this is the train I'm driving. One of the Rahitian Railways RE 8/8s or 8/8s. Get a screenshot. And that's the station name. That's the lake. Midsummer's Day, sun's up. It's a gorgeous place, this. And so you can see what the route looks like. Get a screenshot of that as well. As I've started doing it, the end of the video will have screenshots. I like that. Do not cross the railway lines. Well, I'm not actually crossing them, I'm in camera mode. Photo mode. So, just having a quick look around. Does this actually show what the class is? What's the name on it? Richard Corey. Doesn't actually show the class. I love the logo. That's another good screenshot. And that's where we're heading. Tirano. Okay. We've got just over a minute. And I will set the cruise control to 45 kilometres an hour. Brusio, Tirano. Have the cab light on as well, so that when we go through the tunnels, it doesn't go pitch black. I can actually have that door wide open on this without any major issues. It will not be an issue when it comes to moving. Unlike on modern British trains where having the door open sort of stops you being able to move. On this, it doesn't matter if the door's open. As you can see, door's open and I'm moving. What I'm going to do is pause there, go down to advance. Wow, I didn't know it would do that. There we go. I want a screenshot or two with it coming out of the shed type door. What's it look like on the other side? Go up and over. How much is sticking out? Too much sticking out there. But having it coming out like that is completely different. Stand as though I'm on this track. These screenshots will be shown at the end, because it looks quite good. Yes, this will be a long video, and it'll be even longer with the screenshots at the end, but it's just nice having the extra images. And creating the screenshots is quite fun. Like going over this viaduct. I'm going to pretend I'm standing on here. Let's advance it a little bit. Those pipes are really bouncy. No, they're not. That'll do. And I don't know why it makes me have to do that to get over. Go down to the bit, and another one. And now we carry on to Alpgrum, platform 1. Have to keep an eye on speed limit, which drops down to 40 shortly. Should really have sounded the whistle for that crossing. I didn't even think about it. Nearly at the 40, so it's just before this bend. And because I've got the alerter or vigilance monitor on, I'll get that yellow backed exclamation mark as well as the green, yellow and red. I can accelerate again for a little bit. I'm trying to make sure I do not run late. I'll then have to drop down to 35 for the tunnel above Alpgrum. I think it's a tunnel. Can't remember, it's been a while since I've driven this end. But I do need to cut power just before that tight left-hand bend. Down to 40. You can hear the squealing of the wheels. And here's where it goes to 35. So I'm watching the speed limit. I don't have to worry about the throttle. The throttle could be fully open and it'd still go at speed limit. We've got 2 kilometres before Alpgrum. That's in a straight line. The thing about... Ooh, I hadn't noticed that before. There's a... Damn, how close can we get? Not very. We can go there. That's interesting. Can I get the train with the dam in the background? The dam would be how the electricity for the line is generated, because it's hydroelectric. Hadn't noticed that before. So that was interesting. Drop down to 30 in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Then we go through a tunnel and then a long avalanche shelter, if I remember rightly. Those are avalanche protection boards. There's the announcements, which are in Swiss, Italian and English. There's the avalanche shelter. There's the Alpgrum Glacier, and the Poschiavo Valley is off that way. That's about all I can remember from this part of the route. It's been quite a while since I've driven it. I did the slow TV one where it was just me riding from Tirano up to the summit. I'm not going to keep trying to pronounce the name because it's difficult for an English person to pronounce a Swiss name. We go around this bend, one that you can just about see, and then we should be at Alpgrum. Alpgrum, however it's pronounced. I pronounce it with a bit of an accent on the U. Okay, it's a bit further. I pronounce with a bit of an accent because I was taught German in school, and that's how I was taught to pronounce it when it's got an umlaut, which is the two little dots above the U. This is the average speed for coming down this. It's a 3-foot gauge railway, so it's narrow gauge. Its entire history from 1908, it has been electrified. You definitely wouldn't get a steam engine up and over this line. There's the station. So I can now cut power. And start applying the brakes. This is Alpgrum. Release the brakes a second so I get to where I need to be. I'm early and I'm ahead. So I'll put the train brake on and open the doors. Now, as I said, I'm going to be taking a few screenshots. I want the glacier in the background, because that looks pretty cool. I don't know why they're walking that way. There's this is cool. Looking through at the actual glacier. What's in there? Oh, it's empty. There's cone. There's spare rails. Now that would be interesting. Go down like that. That's cool. I like taking these screenshots because it just adds something extra. And you can get very creative with them. I mean, I could pretend I'm looking out of this garden at the train. So go down to fence level. Like that. And then it's such a nice location. As you can see, the doors are opening this side. I paused it before the doors were open. I just want things like restaurant groom buffet. Can I go this side and look? Wow. Wasn't expecting that. Oh, there's a map. Route map there. Didn't know that. I'm not going to do the collectibles while I'm doing this. That's a substation, which will be in there. There's a poster board there. And a hat to collect. Get a photo of that. It's an alpine hat. It's a bit too far back for me to go. There's one route map. There's another route map. Let's go and stick my head out while people get out. Start releasing the brakes. It's still 30 kilometres an hour, which is 24 miles an hour. Gotta wait because I arrived early. That is such a gorgeous view. Oh yeah, while I'm doing it, I'll show you what the bit where it said about the Posciavo Valley. We'll see it as we go around anyway, but down there, I can just about make out the... Can I zoom in? Oh, down there, look. Moving too fast. There's some of the railway. That's a station down there, which we do eventually get to. Can I focus in on it? No. Focal point infinity? No, it doesn't let me focus in, unfortunately. But down there is the end of the line. Or, that's not even the end of the line, that's the bottom of all the S-bends. That's probably Posciavo itself, that station. Find out when we get there. But we have to go down, round, down, down, and then down more. It's quite a long bit. I might be able to... There's the... We've got one S-bend there, another S-bend there, more S-bends, and then that's the station we can see, which is Posciavo. So I was right. I have to remember which side I am looking at as to which doors to close in a few seconds' time. Because if I open the others, I won't be able to move. Closing doors. That way, I can move on time. So, off we go. I'm not worried about... That says we've only got 400 metres to go. We haven't. We've got a lot longer than that. Let's get a photo of the train coming round this bend. So, about there. Because we've got almost interlaced track there. Don't want the... I want that one. But I also want to go out here a little bit. So it looks... This loop ends just there. It's quite a tight bend when you think about it. How high up can I go to get a screenshot? I want Posciavo in the background, if I can get it. No. But I can get the mountains. Shows how steep the gradient is as well. Quite a steep bit. There's Alpgrum again. And let's get the junction in shot. I'm a lot further away from it than I thought. I didn't want to do that. I wanted to do that. I wanted to just... Right. Alpgrum in the background. Like that. Over this side. So you can see the points. And carry on. And it's frozen. Better. I don't know why it did that. Every so often it just freezes when I come out of photo mode. Maybe I should have the door shut now. Shouldn't really be driving with it open. There's another avalanche protection. Or rockfall protection in that instance. That's avalanche protection. According to the heads-up display, we've got over 600 metres. We've got more than that. It's about 3-4 kilometres between Alpgrum and Stablini. Which should have a... Oh, they haven't got their lights on, I've just realised. How do I turn cabin lights on? Passenger light, there we go. They can see now. That's better. They can see what's going on inside, while they're in the tunnel. We are now below where we were. We were up there. And we're still going down. If I go there we go. We've got to go to there, so about a kilometre. As the crow flies, direct line of sight to there is how far that shows on the top. That's not the actual route mileage. But we can now see the red signal, so it's less than 1.5 kilometres away. And I believe, looking at other timetable bits, there is a train due up, which is the first northbound train of the day, to pass us in the loop. I don't know how long it will be before it passes us, but it'll be a bit of a wait. Right, there's the signal. So I cut power. So the brakes you can hear running now. Round bend. There's the loop. So start applying brakes. We go left-hand line. We need to stop before the signal. You can see it's a steep gradient because I'm already speeding back up. I need to stop as close to that stop hand as possible. Because if I go too far, I'll go past the signal. Brakes. There we go. Now we have to wait. I can put the brake at about 50 here. Just to add extra braking, I'll put the dynamic brake on. Right. See where the up service is. There it is. It is one of the RE88s and maybe passengers? Can't tell. Let's put that on there and I'll be able to see. Tirano to Ospizio. Current speed 28 kilometres per hour. It's got to come all the way around here, so we've got a bit of a wait. Can't speed past. I can go... wrong one. View 8. Follow the track. How far down this way can I go without it going blurred? Not very far. Okay. Won't let me back on the track. There we go. There's an avalanche shelter. Let's just speed away. Go down to the... There's another bit. What I'm trying to do is get to where this train is by following the track. There it is. That shows what the type of train is. It's fully passenger. Okay. Does that mean if I go and put that there? I wanted... it won't let me. It just put me straight back in the cab. Let's just... Can I get a photo of that? That shows the system, the narrow gauge system in Switzerland. It's just something a bit different to get a photo of. Didn't know I could do a request stop. What's that light up? H. It actually lit up that button, that middle bit there. So when we get to Cavaglia, that light will go out. Because I want to go into external camera mode, like that. I've folded the mirror in. This is actually the one where you can move away from the train, but just gives me a chance to look. I think I can hear the up train. It'll be down the line. Yeah. Just about to go through the tunnel. It's a really tight tunnel. I will take that off. There's the red signal, but the signal past the danger point is around there. So we don't want to go too far. Can't let the brakes off until that signal clears. Most of this journey downhill is going to be able to be without throttle. There's the train. What I'm going to do, when it gets level with me, is go into photo mode. Like that. Someone taking a photo from ground level. And then up here. What's the name on that one? Carlo Yanka. There's the up train in full, all 6 coaches. And there's mine, 3 coaches. Okay, back in that view, you can see the signal. Which is clear. Off we go. I'm not even using the throttle at the moment, because we're just going by gravity. We've got a 45 in 3.3 kilometres, which is after Cavaglia. Okay, back in the cab. Avalanche shelter. This is a brilliant route. I'm going to just check which version of Train Sim World it came out in. Let's have a look. I missed that because I'm not looking at the screen. Train Sim World 4 came out in. Oh, I wasn't even looking forwards. So we've gone through the tunnel. I wasn't looking. Came out Train Sim World 4. And we're on the second of the S-bends. We've got the double right, which is at a place called Dota, which isn't a station. That'll be on the outside. We were just up there. It's an interesting, if slow, route. There's Dota, or Dota, whatever you want to call it. And then we've got another S-bend, and Cavaglio, or Cavaglia, is basically down there, where that hand is. So we've now gone through Dota, or Dota, or whatever. We're going down to another reverse curve. Where we then go back downhill. Or going back on ourselves. There's part of the line. Let's go into that view. There's a viaduct straight into... Oh, that'll be a brilliant image to get a screenshot. Train on the viaduct. So we want to go about here. Worked. First time. On the viaduct. And on the other side, looking down the valley. Let's get a bit of height. Can I get any further away? Only way I can think of doing that is make it look like a fisheye lens. That works. And now put it back into 50. Because that's the normal view, the focal length. And carry on. We've got just over a kilometre. Maybe a bit more than that, because this line is bendy. It'd be another case of just use the brakes to stop, rather than relying entirely on I'm just using the brakes for speed as well. It's got the cruise control, which means it won't exceed 30 for too long. A second or two at a time. Right. Slight bend this way. I've got the map up on my iPad, which is how I'm being aware of how far away we are. There's a little left, right, left just up here. And then after that second left, we've got Cavaglia. Should get the announcement.
Nächster Halt, Cavaglia. Prossima fermata, Cavaglia. Next stop, Cavaglia.
Cavaglia. I got that timing spot on. I'm getting better with this route. I haven't driven it in ages. I think it was May or June last year when I actually drove it last in this direction. You can see these stations are designed for 6-coach trains. Okay, I'll have to use a bit of throttle to leave here. We're a bit early, but that doesn't matter. Let's... Ooh, can see the mountains. So, go above tree height. The fact that I've set this Midsummer's Day, and you've got that. Oh, zoomed in too much. You wouldn't get that in Britain. Yes, I've seen glaciers before. That was Canada. I've never been to Switzerland. Really should try and save up money to go. Or win the lottery. I mean, this would be an amazing line to ride in real life. Where are the collectibles here? There's route map there. There's a hat there. There's a poster there. There's a pizza there. Another hat. Another poster. I wonder if you can come up here. Yes, you can, because there's a route map. This is a gorgeous station. Right. Okay, they're having fun getting out. I've got green signal once I've got passengers done. Oh, there's a car loader there. Let's go into that. Or is it? No, it's a goods platform. Interesting. I prefer this view. Move the camera out a little bit and back. We've got 20 seconds before we have to start going. Wait for those last couple of people to get on. Any more? Nope. Too late. Brake released. And head to Posciabo. 30 kilometres an hour for a bit, and then it goes up to 40, I believe, after a relatively sharp bend after this. Ooh. We've got S-bends before we get to Posciabo. So, 30 will be the fastest. Yes, we could go up to 40 here, but it's back to 30 in a second, so there's no point in increasing the speed. We now run next to the road and a river. Here's the tight bend with a level crossing. And then a tunnel. So I want to go into that view. Through the tunnel. We're going down that valley. Having the vigilance system on is good, but it does mean I have to pay attention. Over a path, or a track, or whatever. Now we're going downhill. I can cut power again, and it'll be now putting power back into the system through regenerative braking. Soon be getting to the next load of reverse curves, which is 1, 2, 3, 4 in total. After which, it's mostly just wiggly. There is a little bit of reverse curve just above Brusio. Then we've got the spiral viaduct, and then we're on the valley floor. I'm not actually looking at the screen at the moment. I was looking at the map. Right. I think this first reverse curve is a tunnel. Looking at the map. We're above San Carlo down there. All the way down there. I'll open the door. San Carlo is down in that valley. Green signal. .7 kilometres to Posciavo, direct line. It'll be going up once we've gone round this really tight bend that's coming up. Go into that view. Oh, we're nearly there. So, San Carlo is where the dot is. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, and there's Posciavo, which is where I had the signal passed at danger. On the northbound run, because for some reason signal in Posciavo was red, despite I want a quick look at that. Go above the train. Can you see? Yes, you can. Okay, you can see the lower track. And I'm going to pretend I'm inside the train. Can I go into this view? Need to go further back. Through here, and through here. Can you see the... Excuse me, why am I underneath? Getting too close. That works. Can see the lower track from inside. That's all I wanted to do. Ooh. This view doesn't normally work in a tunnel. So if I keep the camera still, it might just keep on. This is the first of the reverse curves. And move away, and we were just up there. We're still on the bend at the moment, but there it is. That's where we were. Just there. There's our train. Back in that view. Still keeping it at 30 kilometres an hour. And now the distance to Posciavo is going up. Because Posciavo is there. Getting away from us. Ooh. That's... What's that? Okay. Interesting. I like getting the screenshots, because it means I can look at them later as well. As well as adding them to the end of the video. So that you can have 5 or more seconds looking at them. Also means I can then put them on my iPad and look at them in detail. I mean, that view, I would so... Wow. I would love to visit this line. Really would. There's my character. I've still got the door open because it's easier to look out down the valley with the door open than it is when I'm in first person mode. It's easier to look out that way than having the door shut. That's just a footpath. Let's go back into internal view and at the moment shut the door. That light went out. So what I'm going to do, because I know I can, there we go. The light's back on now. People want to stop at Posciavo. Because this is two versions of the game ago, you can get out of the seat and it won't apply the brakes. You could do that with Transit World 5 as well. Routes for that, you could get out and the train would keep going. Next signal is yellow. That's what that beeping's about. But the signal after that is green. We've still got another 2 reverse curves before we get near Posciavo. Why has that come on to red? I'm going to turn that off. Because that's annoying. It's the only way I can get past that signal. Right. We've not got to stop here. So don't worry about the signal. It's green. The next signal's green. Don't worry about it. This has got a route map. Okay, you're now going to go green? Thank you. Oh, that's nice. Somewhere along here is the Landvasso Viaduct. I don't know exactly where. You're going to let me move away. But I would like a screenshot of my train going over it. While it's paused, I'll have a look. Um, At least I think this route has Landwasser Viaduct. Looking in the mountainous bit. We've just gone through Cadera. There's... There's Lake Posciavo. Miralago. Brusio with the Brusio Spiral Bridge. Compasio. Campo... Okay. This isn't the route with the Landwasser Viaduct. Thought it was. Obviously not. Unless it's on the bit that isn't actually modelled. It's a possibility. Anyway, we've now done that little viaduct. Currently heading roughly towards Posciavo, but we're still too high. We've got to go down there still. In fact, just below that is our track for the return. Here's tunnel. With a signal for the other direction. See? Said it was a tunnel. Which way does the tunnel go? Round a tight bend. Isn't that amazing? 1 in 14 down we're going. And now we've got one more reverse curve. And then we'll be on our way to Posciavo. Green signal, which is showing on the alerter. Level crossing. It's actually a gated level crossing. So that one has cars go over it. There's another track somewhere along here. There's another viaduct. That's actually quite cool. And that was the track just there. So we don't have to worry about level crossing. We've got a left, a slight right, slight left, harder right, left-hand kink, and then there it is. It's a tunnel to go down the reverse curve. quite a slow trek. I mean, this is quite a long journey. Once we get to Posciavo, it's half an hour. But we started in-game 8:38. It's been nearly an hour in-game. And we finish at 10:21. Tirano. Ooh, this is nice viaduct. Is this the famous viaduct? You can see the old route there. And then the modern route is on... How low down can I go? Let's just advance a little bit so the whole train is in shot. There we go. And then go over the other side. So we get the valley in the background. I'd forgotten about that. That's the old route. It was tighter. And they straightened it to try and ease the make it so it could go a little bit faster around there. Here's the tunnel. Or a tunnel. Not sure if this is the one for the tight bend. Looks like it is. Yep, this is the tight bend. The reverse curve. And now we've got a few bends before we get to Posciavo. And that's nice. Let's have a look. Can I get that? Oh, wow. The old... The old viaduct. And... Oh, there we go. Old viaduct and the new one. Plus a girder bridge. That's quite pretty. And then Posciavo is down there. Somewhere. Down in the valley. Where it's all misty. Let's carry on. Through the short tunnel. Oh, didn't realise the speed had dropped. Oh well. Look out in the valley. We can go back up to speed. After Posciavo, speed goes up to 55 for a little bit because it is level until we get to Le Priests, I believe. But we should be passing a train at or just after Posciavo. I'm not 100% sure whether we'll pass it in the station or the loop below it. There's the town of San Carlo. Little wooden bridge. When we leave the mountain sides in a bit, I'll have the door shut. That is so nice to just look at. Now that we've come down the mountainside, the mist is lifting slightly. We can see San Carlo. Should soon be able to see Poschiavo. Green signal for the loop. Oh, there's a siding up here. Which is just round this bend. Yes, there it is. There's the siding. Which is why we've got a signal that came up green. That's for whatever that is. Interesting. And
In Kürze treffen wir in Poschiavo, dem Hauptort des Tals, ein. 3 Türme prägen das Ortsbild.
long message about Poschiavo and its 3
Das
towers.
Rathaus und die Stiftskirche San Vittore mit ihrem imposanten romanischen Turm. Von denjenigen Gästen, die hier aussteigen, möchten wir uns verabschieden. Wir danken Ihnen und wünschen einen
Another
schönen
bridge.
Aufenthalt
What's
in
this one look like? It's got a stream under it. Ooh. Make sure I get the right button. That's quite cool. Let's get the train a bit further along. Like that. And carry on.
Stiamo appena arrivando a Poschiavo.
And this is the Poschiavo loop, or start of.
Che sono un'attrazione storica e emblematica della città. Una è la chiesa barocca
1.1 kilometre.
una appartiene al Brusio e una alla chiesa di San Vittore.
I
Auguriamo
have no idea what that noise was.
una piacevole visita a Poschiavo.
It's weird.
Grazie, proprio piacciamo.
But
We are just
we're
coming
now
to Poschiavo, the main town in the valley. Look out for the 3 towers which are landmarks here. One is the Baroque Church of the Reformation. One belongs to the town.
come outside, because if you watched last Wednesday's video, you'll know that spiel from the announcer about the 3 towers, the town hall, the church, and oh, I can't remember what the other one was. It's just a long bit of talking. But San Carlo over there, Poschiavo in front of us, and we've got a red signal, but we'll be stopped anyway because we're nearly at the station. Applying brake. It's buzzing because of the red signal. Should be able to go back in cab. Yes. And here is Poschiavo. the main town in the valley. Ooh, listen to those brakes dragging. Over level crossing. Just release the brakes slightly. Started a scenario here when I was doing it in TSW 5. I can remember that. Okay, just coast. And come to a stop in the correct place. There's only one platform at Posciavo, so okay, I'll put the brakes on and I'll open the doors. We're early, 2 minutes and a second early, and the light's gone out, so that does put the light on. Okay, let's put the mirrors out and look back. Is it just the one platform here? Let's have a look on the map. No, there is a second platform. It's just a shorter platform, and then you've got the sheds. So, is that train in there yet? There it is. Will that go straight through? Yep. That's actually the train that I tried driving last time. So we'll be able to go to this loop and one of these red signals. And then we'll be having to stop and wait for that up train. Okay, I'm going to close my door now. Release the brakes. And forward we go. Cut power. There's a route map when I do the collectibles. Over the level crossing. Yes, I know, there's a red signal up ahead. Just a little bit of power to get to the end of the loop. There's the red signal. We just want to get to this loop and then we wait. I'm watching how far away the signal is. Use that brake. well as that one. There we go. And we can see how far away that is now. Oh, not that far. Okay. Get that to off. We need 55. Next stop, Le Press, which is the north end of the lake. Let's get a picture of the train passing. That one's got 2 coaches behind it. Which are actually quite a bit lower than the unit. And coupled through the coupling and buffers. It's weird how it's coupled. What about between the coaches? Between the coaches it looks more realistic. And then you've got the detailed end. Like that. And that one's name? Ooh, Simeon Bavier. I've driven that one. There's my train. Let's have it so that it's like that. Right, we've got a green. Release the brakes and off we go. Short distance before it goes back down to 30, but I can cut the power in time anyway. And the 30 is because we do a bit of street running, I believe. And that is just after this signal that I cut it. There we go. Here's the street running. Oops, sorry, I did not mean to knock my microphone. Okay, that car's a bit close. Let's see how close. That car is very close. In fact, that car's inside. Okay. Shouldn't be there. Once we're through here, we get a bit of speed for a couple of kilometres. We don't have to stop at this station, luckily. But we can now get back up to 55 along here. And then up to 60 briefly. before we drop down to 45, 50. It's quite an interesting section, this. Because most of the way now to Tirano, we're alongside a road. And in Tirano, it's 15 kilometres an hour. Street running. As we go past the Basilica. Another word for cathedral, basilica. Should be done in about half an hour. Game time. Be a bit longer because I am going to be getting some more screenshots. I mean, I do love photo mode in this. I keep doing the increase and then decrease. Down to 40. Because here's the 40 limit. Now. Just for this one bend. We've got 1.3 kilometres before La Prace. Come on, where's the... There it is. To 60. And then a sharp down to 30. Here's one of the passing loops. And it goes down to 30 because we go back to street running at La Prace. Turn that off. And I have to cut that. Yes, I know. I turned it off so that it let me go. It does it when it's a big speed change. I was waiting until last second to be able to do the speed limit. Here's the bit where I want to get a screenshot.
Next stop, Le Prese.
It'll be when we got buildings around us. Having a train running through the street that's not actually a tram. This is another reason I'd love to visit this line. I mean, you've got middle of the street running, which you don't get for a railway that much in Britain. In fact, I can think of one. That would work. So go like that. I'm having to wiggle because it's not... Oh, it is. Right. There we go. Cut power. Because it's nearly time to stop. As we get into La Prace station. Just... We're early again. There we go. Stopped at La Place. 51 seconds early. Once again, because it's right next to the road. And then you've got the La Place Hotel. Looks better from the other side. The problem with the NPCs in this game, they don't look very realistic. Whereas other games that I've got, they do. Right. I want Mar-a-Lago. Oh, that's showing the next stops. Didn't realise that did. Okay. So, Mar-a-Lago, Brusio, Campasio, Campa Cologno. Ah, can't pronounce it. And then Tirano. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more stops. Still got a fair wait before we can go, because we've got to go at 9:45. What I can do is release the brakes. Goes up to 35 alongside Mar-a-Lago, which is that lake. Up to 45 for a little bit, and then we've got the station. I can't release the brakes yet, because as soon as I do the doors, we'll start rolling if the brake's off. And I'm doing the doors in 3, 2, 1, now. Just means that I can do that. Off we go. Next stop, Mar-a-Lago. We get to go up to 35 once we're around these bends, because we move slightly away from the road. There's the 35 limit. And we're now in it. Now we're alongside Mar-a-Lago. Or Mirror Lake. I think that's what it means. If someone who speaks the Swiss version of the German language would be able to tell me if that's the translation, would be nice. I honestly don't know. As I've said in previous videos, the last time I did GCSE German was 27 years ago. Quite a while ago. Nearly 28 years. Come May, June, it will be 28 years since I did my GCSE exams. That is scary. Right. Are we at the nearly at the 45? There's the 45 board. Wait for it to go up on the speedo. I do like the fact that I don't have to adjust the throttle as much. I can have it set to full power and it won't go beyond what the cruise control is set at. This is a nice section of line. Alongside the lake, there's a footpath alongside the line, along with benches. It's not okay, I'm gonna have to start slowing to 40. No, not yet. I was looking at the wrong point. I was just looking at the signal. There's Mirallago Station, just around there. Nearly at the 40, and the 30 is for Mirallago Station itself. Which I will slow down for and stop at. There's the 40. Just round this bend. And also slow it down to 30, because we're coming into the station. And we're still going to be early. Back into the cab proper. We're at level track. Just coast a little bit. And stop. Open the doors. We were nearly 20 seconds early. Hello. Are you walking towards my train? Because this is level, I can completely release the brakes. Signal there is green. There's the lake. That's so peaceful looking. You just walk in there and looking at the train. Okay. Random. Gotta wait a little bit before we can go. But we've got... Next stop is... Brusio. Doing the doors. And... off we go. Into the 30km/h section. We're on level ground, which is why it's 30. Or why I've still got the throttle open, I should say. Wow! I've driven 72 miles in this. Nice to know. Over the riverbed. It's dry at the moment because it's summer. We now just go down to Brusio, where the Spiral Viaduct is. which I definitely want to get some screenshots of. Let's see. I don't think the speed limit goes up now, because now we're going down another 1 in 14 to initially Brusio and the viaduct, and then we have Campasio and Campacalona, whatever that, however that's pronounced. But it's 30 kilometers an hour, and then at the edge of Tirano, as we go past the Santorino Madonna di Tirano. That's the name of the basilica. As we go past that, we're basically going at a rather slow speed. Right. Go on the map to where we roughly are. That road pulls away. We've got another S-bend just before Brusio station, which is why it's saying 1 kilometre, and it's more than a kilometre away, as the railways go. I'm going to turn that. Get ready to turn that off. So what I'll do is have that like that. Because I can guarantee that I'll get the... I forgot to whistle there. I'll get the red light thing.
In Kürze fahren wir über den berühmten Kreisviadukt von Brusio. Über ihn
Brusio.
drehen wir, ähnlich wie in den Kehrtunnels, eine Schleife. Entlang der Kehrschleife sind runde, iglu-ähnliche Steinhaufen zu sehen, welche früher als Speicher für Wein und Käse dienten.
Tra pochi minuti attraverseremo il famoso viadotto circolare di Brusio. Da questo edificio il treno percorre nuovamente un anello per perdere o guadagnare poco, come nei tunnel della spirale dopo percorso. I tumuli di pietra, simili ai sottostanti, furono usati.
Sorry, I want to see what this... That's quite cool. I'll go back into... I hit that a bit early. I wanted it without the...
per conservare vino e formaggio.
In a few
Of course that's
minutes,
come off.
we will be crossing the famous circular viaduct in Brusio. This construction again makes a loop to lose or gain height, like the spiral tunnels after Bergamo. The igloo-like stone mountain earth were once used for storing wine and cheese.
I hope you heard what that said. Crossing the Brusio Spiral Viaduct enabled the line to get... or the railway to... gain height quickly, basically. There's Brusio station, and where we've got to stop. And I can almost guarantee that I'm going to have I'm applying the brakes gradually. We are on the right-hand line. Release brake. And this is Brusio Station. Okay. Going quite a way along the station. We'll stop here. We're early again. Right. I am positive there's a train coming up. What I'm going to do is have a look at what it is. With the game paused. I can't go anywhere. Is it on the viaduct? Can't go anywhere while I've got a red signal anyway, so just sitting where I am with it paused, I can just look if the other train is in section. Should be able to... Will you let me go down there without having to go all this long distance? There's the famous viaduct. Let's get a screenshot of it without a train on. Now that I'm here, I can switch onto this line, which is what I wanted. There's the other train. It's not yet at the viaduct. I want to see what it's actually got behind it. It's got passenger coaches, so it's not on a mixed train. It's alongside the farm track, and it is Anne von Plunter, number 6. It's got 3 coaches. Okay. Nice to know while I wait. Doors are on... Oh, it wants the other doors unlocked as well. Weird. Doors are unlocked. Both sides. I'll lock that side back up. And now it's locked both sides at once. Don't know why it does that. I can't go anywhere, because that other train will be coming up. And we've got 84 metres until the red signal. What I will do while I'm waiting, because we're going to be stopping at Campasio. Can't go anywhere. I can release the brakes because we're on level track. Let's just draw a little bit forward. I'm watching the distance to the signal. And I know I'm slowing down anyway. I'm just going to get up to the signal and wait. go 42 metres from the signal. Which is actually around the bend, but... in fact, yeah, there's the signal. Oh, he's not that far away. And that's my insulin pump beeping at me. Right, I can start releasing brake a little bit. Including that one. There's the up train. Let's get a picture of me here. Like that. Ooh, that's pretty. Come over here and get that. He's got his mirrors in. Supposed to be out. I've got my mirrors in. That's an interesting... Let's advance time a bit. I hit the wrong button. I wanted to get it... oh well. Can't do anything now. I can, however... release the brakes and just... head down to... the viaduct. And get another screenshot. Last week I got screenshots of going up the viaduct. This time, I want screenshots going down the viaduct. Next signal is yellow, and that's in 3 kilometres. Which is after Campasio. That's the village of Brusio. Or Brusio, however they pronounce it. We've got 5 minutes to do... it'll be more than 1.4 kilometres. There's the viaduct, just coming into shot. It's a gorgeous structure. It's also a World Heritage, UNESCO World Heritage structure. The whole line is. So... right. Need to be looking out this way because I want the bit where we're over. First of all, like that. I keep forgetting I can just go. The whistle blows because I have to press both analog sticks. Down at ground level. Ooh, that's different. And then... why won't you... okay, I'll go on the road. Makes it a bit more difficult to see that there's a railway there, but... there we go. And now... bring that back up. Go all the way around. I don't need to be driving at this point. I do need to be driving at this point. Okay. I'll just... get back. And then advance when I'm coming through the bridge. Viaduct. Right. That's a good shot. That's okay. I'm going to move the camera a little bit. And then go over there. And the train's out of the viaduct. And now we can carry on. Next planned screenshot will be when we're going past the on the street section. We've got a 25 limit in 4 kilometres, which is after Compasio, which is not that far away. In fact, Compasio is round a little bend. The road pulls away slightly here, with all the cars parked on it. We move a little bit away, and then we go back towards the road. And the station is where the road effectively rejoins.
Nächster Halt, Campascio.
Prossima fermata, Campascio.
Next stop, Compasio.
There we go. Next stop, Compasio. I do like the announcements on this. It's the first route to feature them that I'm aware of. And now they are default on some of the Train World 6 routes. Let's bring the speed down, because here's Compasio. Got the brake off a sec, and back on. Slightly over. But we're early, so it doesn't matter. That window's dusty, I've just noticed. Can't tell with that one. Just have the one window open. That's what I like about that. You can have the blind down. You can actually actually stops the wind blowing into it. I've got a minute and a half before I can go. What I will do is release that brake. Start releasing this brake to 13%. Next is Campacolone, and then Tirano. We want to be on this side. I can see when I need to shut the doors. 50 seconds time. Campo Cologno. Campo Cologno. That's less than a kilometre away. With speed limit of 25 kilometres an hour in Tirano, which drops to 15 at one point. Right. Nearly time for the doors. No one else is getting on, so doors can be shut. Brakes can be released. And off we go. Back in cab view. I don't know how many kilometres this route actually is. And I definitely don't know how many miles that is. We've got 1.3 kilometres before the one that I struggle to pronounce. Campo Colonio. Or Campo Colonio. I don't know. Campo Cologno. However it's pronounced. It will say it on the announcement. But there it is. There's the village of that name that I'm butchering no matter what I say. And then after that, it's just a nice gentle run into Tirano. Why does that always remind me of Tirano? Tirano! Thunderbirds.
Nächster Halt, Campo Cologno.
Campo Cologno.
Prossima fermata, Campo Cologno.
Next stop, Campo Cologno.
Okay, that's how you pronounce it. Campo Cologno. Next signal is yellow. Go to power. Alongside the road. Oh, there's a bit along here when we're able to see power station, isn't it? Next signal should be green. Where's the bit with the power station? We cross over the river. Slow down as we cross over the road. We're now crossing the road and the river, which is dry. And here's Campo Cologno. Now that I've had it said, I can say it. It's a platform that's level, I believe. There's a siding. And start applying brakes. Stop. Let's see if I remember rightly about that. Hydro. Yeah, power station. Hydroelectric power station. I couldn't remember the word. Not like me. Usually quite good with words. Or at least usually quite good with complex words. If I remember rightly, it's down near Tirano itself. Oh, that's nice. Nice little house. In fact, nice little screenshot. Can we see it from up here? As we're on the shelf alongside the road. Of course, we moved away from the rail line. Camera's now going through the OHLE and getting electrocuted. I'm sure along here there is the hydroelectric power station, which feeds the lower half of this line. I remember it on Train Sim Classic, because strangely enough I've got this route on there as well. Maybe not. Might be the Arosa line, because I don't see a hydroelectric power station there. That shows the gradient, because the camera's level. I'll get a photo now. I'll also get one when the train's going over it in a few minutes. But the power station, I thought, was up there. Obviously not. Right, I need to be looking out this way. Still got over a minute before we can go for the final bit of the journey, which is not that far, really. I mean, once we get to Tirano, it's the end of the journey. And that is the next station. Right. 10 seconds before I do the doors. Releasing brakes. Doing doors. And up to Tirano. 1.5 kilometres, we drop down to 25 kilometres an hour, which is the street section in Tirano proper. And now we're on a shelf. There's... I want that. That... What it... There it is! Knew it was around somewhere. That's what I thought was a hydroelectric scheme. It is. It's a little hydroelectric scheme. Cool. It is actually there. Let's get a screenshot of that. And a screenshot of my train over the pipe that comes down from the mountain. or a couple of screenshots, and then go over my train and look down at that. There we go. Knew it was there, I just couldn't remember where. 1.2 kilometres before I have to cut speed. I might as well just cut power, because we're going downhill at a 1 in 14 again. You can understand why when this line was built, it was electric only. Steam engine would not get up this gradient. There's one of the houses, the one that I took a picture of. Nearly at the sorry, nearly at the end of the line, which is Tirano. This video is over 2 hours long. And will be longer because of me putting screenshots on. I hope you've enjoyed it, including me rambling on randomly and doing the screenshots and not speeding. There's a castle or something around there, according to the map. Castello di Piatamala. And now we're getting almost level with the road for the bridge. Have to be ready to cut speed and then go into photo mode. Ooh, nice. Nice lay-by. Rock hiding it. Here's the 25. We're going slightly faster than the cars. .25 is at the bridge, but I slowed down early. And I'm a little bit early with my wanting a screenshot, but I can do that. And then go here. Appropriate, there's a car alongside me. And now we're on the road. Still slightly faster than the traffic. But we dropped down to 15 by the Basilica, which is at the end of this long straight. And that's where I'm next going to get a screenshot. Because while it's... Actually, I'll get a screenshot when I'm level with that car. Because I don't think that van is next to me anymore. It's... I want a car right next to me before we get to the square where that car's just crossed over in front. There's the tower of the Basilica. So Is that enough? Come on, let me get away from the... Right. And then down to the square. I want to get the camera on this crossing, because then I'll get the basilica in. Hopefully, I won't get that buzz just yet. There we go. Back into the cab. Ooh, we're speeding. I forgot about that. Now we can speed up again. I completely forgot about the speed limit through the square. Oh well.
Nächster Halt, Tirano.
Prossima fermata, Tirano.
Next stop, Tirano.
Right. The platform is the end of the line, remarkably. And then it'll be let the passengers off, shut down the cab, and why can't I open my door? It's letting me it let me have the door open on the way down, but it won't let me open the door now. That's annoying. Open my door ready. And don't need to worry about pantograph. Mirrors in. Headlights 0. Parking mode. I'm turning almost everything off before I close the door. So, where's that one? Vigilance off. That off. And that can stay at that. Close door. Master key off. And that's it. Platinum medal. Stopped 6.98 meters away from Alpgrum. Almost spot on at the passing loop. 0.1 meter. Cavaglia, 4.6 metres. Posciavo, 17 metres. Lepres, 7.9. Mirallago, 0.7 metres. Brusio, 18.1. Campascio, 4.8. Campo Colone, 7.01. And then Tirano. Looks like it was spot on. Objective completed, 2,500. Distance driven, 3,255. Used safety systems, 2,760. Not appropriate for correct cab setup. Speeding, minus 2,925. Would have got more if I hadn't been speeding. But some of that wasn't my fault, because I set the controls. Not appropriate for wipers in rain, because it didn't rain. On time bonus, 660. Accuracy bonus, 1524. So that made up for the speeding, almost. And everything else was zeros. Distance driven, 37.66 kilometres. Distance walked, 13.3 metres. So that's timetable service on the Bernina Express line. Southbound. I will do a northbound run. Timetable one. I don't know when. That was actually quite enjoyable going south. My last attempt at northbound a week ago. Yeah, I made a mistake. I went into Posciavo too fast. And did what's known as a SPAD. Signal passed at danger. And, well, that ended the scenario. So, yeah. Well, I hope you enjoyed this southbound run in the AE 812, not the 88 as I said earlier. And I hope you come back for Friday's video, which currently I plan to do a Train Simulator Classic run on the Trent Valley Line, ready for when that appears in Train Sim World 6 in the coming months. Don't know when, but I do want to do the Classic one first. So, that'll be Friday. A Classic, Train Simulator Classic, Trent Valley Line. I know a fair bit about that line, because I live alongside it. Anyway, until Friday's video, have a great time, enjoy the screenshots, and be seeing you.
Productions. Filming trains and events that happen in town.
Wearing his red trilby, Dale can be seen with cameras 3 all set up.
Steam trains and diesels, electrics and freights.
Dickens and fireworks, tractors at Christmas.
Warbler Productions.